Hello everyone, this is Not from KraftWork, and today I'm going to show you how to use the new Sienna's American Pleat curtain system that I'm about to release at Uber. When you receive your pack, you see 4 different types of curtain and one extension. The double window right is to be used in larger windows, and when I res, you see that it's closed in just one side. The double window left is the same as the first one, but in a mirrored position so you can use it on the left side. And you have two single window types of curtain. One that is going to open the curtain to the right side and another one that is going to open the curtain to the left side. So let's res and take a look at these parts. I'm going to res them all here and then rotate. I'm using Firestorm Viewer, so I always like that little trick that you can copy the position and paste to another object. It makes editing much easier. So I am going to use this curtain here and copy the position, clicking here. And then I'm going to paste the same position to the other curtains. Okay, so let's take a look at each part. This one is called the single window right. It means when you touch the curtain, it's going to open to the right side. This one is the single window left, and it's going to open your curtain to the left side. The single window parts have this little ending detail in both sides. So let's move this one here. Now we have the two parts to be used in larger windows. This one should be the left one, which is closed here and open here. And this should be the right one, which is open here and closed here. And this is going to open to the left side, and this is going to open to the right side. Later on this video, we are going to talk about the texture change. Now I need to position my curtains in this room, and I have two different types of windows, so we are going to be using all of the curtains. It is important to notice that you probably have to scale these curtains to fit your room. Every window has different shapes and sizes, so I advise you that you res the parts that you need, scale them all up together or down, and then place them in the correct position and test the openings. If you try to open the curtain and copy it in the open position, once you try to close it, it's not going to close properly. This is because of the script related positions, and it's a complicated math, but and each Second Life, there's nothing I can do about it. So every time you need to move, copy, scale, make sure you're always in the closed position so you don't have problems with the curtain animations later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click all my curtains. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to fix this height, because as you can see, it is lower than what I need. So I'm just going to scale them all together let me unclick stretch both sides so I am sure that it's the ground is fixed. And I'm going to scale it up to my desired height. I think this should work. So I'll be using my double window curtain parts here, and I'll be using the single ones on the other side. So I am going to move them. I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy, but there is no other way. I need to move these around. And then I'm going to place them. I need to just check which one is the right, which one is the left. Okay, so I have them in the wrong position. So let's place here. And I'm just going to check if it's in the middle. That should do it. And then this one. A little bit more. There. Okay, so my curtains are positioned. Now I need to just check if the top part is correct. Okay, so my curtains are in place on this side of the room and they are opening correctly. Now let's deal with the other parts. So I have a situation here that my window is actually larger than my curtains, and that's why I included an extension for you. So the thing that I should have done is when I went to scale all my curtains up, I should had already raised an extension so I could scale them all together, and the extension would be the perfect size to make a connection between these two parts. So I am going to delete if this situation, then when you put them all together, both parts, already fits your window size. You can just go with it. You just check if the openings are opening to the correct size and you go. That's all you have to do. But in my case, I need to fill this gap. So what I'm going to do is I am going to delete these parts. I'm going to raise again my double curtains left and right, and I'm also going to raise my extension. I'm going to rotate them. And then now I'm going to scale it up again. If I wanted all the curtains to have the same size, I would have to raise the other single curtains and do it all again from the beginning. But I really don't mind if this one is a little bit smaller or bigger than the other side. It's fine. It's just for tutorial purpose. Okay, so I have them in the correct size. I'm going to place this one here. To make sure that they are aligned again, I am going to take this position, copy, and I'm going to paste into this one and just move it to the side. That way I know that they are perfectly aligned. And then I'm going to search for this gap limit, and I'm left with this space to be filled. There is no way I can totally close this window. It is too large. So I am going to have an opening and then I'm going to show you another option on how to close that part. So to position the extension, the little extension, you can still use the copy and paste position, but you have to adjust a little bit manually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edit linked mode and I'm going to copy the position only of the curtain rod part. So I'm going to copy and paste. And now I have both in the same height, so I need to move it a little bit until I don't see it anymore. And then I'm going to move it to the center. Some people don't like the glitching between two different parts. I don't have much glitching here, but in case you don't like, you can just activate or stretch both sides, and then you can move this in a little bit. Okay, so this is one option that you can fill in the gap without making the curtain too big, but you're not going to be able to close everything completely. But if you do want to close everything completely, you can delete your extension, and then you can move the curtains closer back, and then you can select both, and you can go as higher. Sorry, you have to deactivate the stretch both sides, and then you can go a little bit bigger, and then you can adjust manually until you cover the gaps in both sides. And then you're gonna have a different height, so you can come to this one and increase both as well. So this is how the positioning and scaling works. Remember again, every time you're going to move, position, scale, and adjust, make it in the closed state. If you make it on the open state, and I can make a copy here, I can show you what happens. You're going to have problems when you're closing the curtain. So let's pick another one here. Okay, so this is our double window right. I'm going to open, just want you to notice. You see this gap here between the last ring and the end of the rod. So pay attention to the difference, this distance difference. So I'm going to open, and then I'm going to scale it up, and then I'm going to close it. Do you see how bigger the gap is now? So this is what happens when you manipulate these curtains in the open position. Always do in the closed position. Now let's talk about a little bit of let's talk about the textures. I'm sorry. Um, when you click the curtain, you're going to have access to the animation. When you click the top rod, you're going to have access to the textures. So let's close this inventory, and we can uh, go around the texture options. When you open a menu, you're going to have the option to change the curtain rods, which is basically controlling the top rod and the rings. You're going to have three types of leaning textures and one small miscellaneous menu for you to choose between other different options. When you click the curtain rods, you have the 6 options, and we have black here. You can change to brown, copper, gold, silver, and white. So I'm giving you 6 options for this part. And you click up, you get back to the main menu, and let's take a look at the first linen options. You have the camo, and you see there is a different texture between these two types of linen. You have gray, you have off-white, you have rose, and you have tan. If you go up to the second linen option, you have blue, blush, brown, grape, gray, mint, white, and yellow. If you go up to the third linen option, you're going to have black. And this one has two very gentle stripes in the middle. Blue, green, gray, and white. And a small miscellaneous menu, you're gonna have stripes and tartan for Christmas or a country decor. So that's about it. You can play. I don't even know how many textures you have, but it's a lot of combinations that you can try, and I hope they fits all decorations that are available. Well, I hope you liked. As I said, this is going to be available now at Uber, November 25th, 2019. And after the event is gone, you can find this curtain system at KraftWork main store. Thank you for watching.